Oh dear. No. Hello friends, I know this is a kind of different angle from what we're all used to. Also, it's been like 8,000 years since I filmed my last video. So yeah, I apologize for not uploading for like 8 million years. You know, stuff happened, I got busy, uni, life, whatever. I'm very sorry. I don't think a lot of people missed my content. Not in like a I suck way, but just in a I have a very small audience who does watch my videos occasionally, but don't have any kind of pressure behind that, so it's fine that I disappeared for a little while. But I do really enjoy making videos a lot, and I kind of didn't actually want to stop. I just felt like the content that I was making wasn't really, you know, what I wanted to make. So I decided I was just going to switch things up a bit on my channel, so I don't choke on my own words, and do some more like crafty DIY stuff, because I don't know if any of you know, probably do, because it's pretty much just my friends watching. If you don't know, I'm quite into bullet journaling and like calligraphy and washi tape and all that shite, so yeah, I've recently picked that up again, and I thought I would just make a video showing you the beginnings of my bullet journaling from when I started about 2 years ago to where I am today, because I just started doing it again this month. Yeah, that's why I decided I was just going to show you guys my 3 bullet journals that I have so far. I'm gonna show you the progress that I've made over the years. I'm still by far no professional. I don't study art, I don't really know anything. I just watched a bunch of videos on YouTube and then tried to do it myself. So yeah, I'd say let's just start with my first bullet journal. So this is the first journal that I ever decided to buy and make into a bullet journal. I started this when I was in Amsterdam, and I decided that I was going to start bullet journaling because I just thought that that was a good opportunity to kind of write down a bunch of things, collect all my pictures in a place where I can later on view them. And this used to hang on my wall with this like handy application, craftsman that I am. On the back it just says a bunch of private information, which I'm not going to show you because it's like in case I lose it. I don't ever lose my journals, but I'm constantly paranoid that I'm going to lose everything. I have anxiety. Okay, so let's just go ahead and open this up. I wrote the date, oh boy. I wrote the date that I got this on, which was in September. So it was like, yeah, it was a year ago now, actually longer than that. Let's just go ahead and open this up. So this is the first page. As you can see, it's very crowded. When I started, I just really didn't know what to do. I just watched a bunch of videos on YouTube and just kind of tried to copy them. So I wrote my name in the bottom corner, just wrote bullet journal, you know, the year that we had. And then I just kind of littered it with all of these like tiny flowers, which aren't particularly well drawn, but you know, if you just look at it from afar, it kind of looks cool. And then I also did these daisies, which I remember took forever because I did them with watercolor. That just took a solid day right there, and then I just put a small little poem that I found in like a magazine. Also, sorry for the voice and for the constant sniffing. I have a very bad cold right now, but I'm still trying to get shit done, hence this video. Alright, so, oh boy, see, it's already falling apart. Fuck's sake, where did you go? Oh my god, okay, we'll sort you out later. So this is the first spread that I ever made, which was called City Life in Amsterdam, where I remember I got this like Amsterdam tourism folder when I moved to the city, and I just decided to cut out a bunch of pictures and like paste them in there. So I was kind of experimenting, I'm just gonna leave him behind. I was kind of experimenting with calligraphy here, you can see. I clearly saw that in some bullet journal video. Oh Jesus, sweet shit. Listen, it was the beginning of bullet journaling. I tried to do like calligraphy here and like artsy fonts, and then there we have like a little introduction page, I guess, of me being like, hey, I'm gonna try to journal now, maybe it's gonna be a mess. Clearly it wasn't. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually pretty proud of that spread, not gonna lie. It was my first one, and I actually still kind of like it. So yeah, let's see what's next. Oh yeah, just another small little spread of a postcard that I got in Amsterdam, and then there's my index. As you can see, I didn't really continue that very long. To this day, I don't really do indexes anymore because I kind of know where everything is in my journal anyway, so I don't really look at them. But I did that here. I actually do kind of like this design up here. I mean, again, the plans aren't very well drawn if you look at them closer, but I do think it kind of looks cool, and I definitely tried to like incorporate a bunch of colors in there. And this is the first month of September, and honestly, to this day, this is probably one of my all-time favorite spreads. I remember I definitely didn't draw this myself. I think I looked up a picture online of like a drawing of Amsterdam and then just kind of drew it in there and copy-pasted it. But I'm actually pretty proud of how it turned out. It's very simple, it's black and white, you know, and the word September is just kind of mashed in there. But I genuinely do enjoy the way that it turned out. And then I also did this kind of collage spread thingy here of some more pictures from the Amsterdam magazine that I got that says "Welcome in Amsterdam" in German. So I am quite proud of this first spread for the month of September. Now this is a bit of a mess, I'm not even gonna lie. What I always do is that I always make to-do lists because I feel like it's very helpful to have them right at the beginning of every like month, just so I immediately see what I have to do. And then I tried to do my first calendar for the month, which, as you can see, I went a bit like off script here. I did that by myself and it's a bit of a mess, you know. It's clearly like it's kind of all over the place. It's not very organized. I don't know why I wrote captions here. There's no captions. But yeah, that's kind of me trying to set up my first calendar. Yeah, that was my first note section. To this day, I do a note section a lot, even though I rarely ever write in it. I did do a bit better here, and I'm actually pretty proud of those tulips that I drew. Again, full on just copied these from someone else. I'm sorry I can't give credit anymore because I don't know. I just look up random Google images. Then we have some playlist stuff here. Another thing that I still like to do in my bullet journals to this day is make them a bit interactive. So I put like Amsterdam in a pocket and then just put a little flower that I found on the street because I thought it was pretty. And to this day, I really enjoy like making these kind of interactive spreads where you like have to fold stuff up, and I know that's very common in the bullet journal community. I'm not a special snowflake, but I'm just saying, like, that's a tip as well. If you want to make your journal a bit more exciting for yourself too, just make like little interactive things where you have to move things or you have to uncover something. I'm not gonna uncover this, but I basically did the same thing here where I put a postcard there and then I just wrote something about that day. Let's flip through it some more. I did it in the spread, practicing calligraphy clearly. That's where I like kept some like tickets for museums and stuff and drew some little plans. So yeah, then we're getting to October, which again, full on copied it from someone. I don't know who. If you recognize the theme, please give them credit. Also put some like leaves in there. I'm not gonna stop at every page now because otherwise this video will be 8 years long. But I will stop occasionally to give you a little story behind what I did. So yeah, that's when I started doing my water tracker, and honestly I do like this design a lot. I'm amazed that I was able to do this kind of shadowing with the very crappy pen I had. As you can tell, I didn't really do it very consistently. I stopped doing it, I don't do it anymore, because I have managed to like hydrate a bit better now that I'm older. I need to do it. But I definitely do recommend trackers if you really feel up for doing them. I usually also do an expense tracker, which you will probably see later in the journal. I do try to do that regularly. I did one for October now. It's going very poorly, but I definitely recommend it because it really does help keep track of things. But yeah, that was my first attempt at a water tracker. That's also one of my favorite just combinations. I think I almost came up with that one myself. Very proud of that one. And these two as well. So yeah, as you can see, I went to Edinburgh with uni and I just kind of used my bullet journal to write down the entire schedule and where I had to be, because I'm a very travel anxious person and I need to know where to be and when and with what and with who at all times. So as you can see, there's like a full list of all the places that I needed to go. This is an absolutely hideous drawing of Edinburgh Castle. Definitely proud of that one. It's a spread I did when I was kind of feeling a bit homesick. That's also a spread I actually really like. It's very dark. I got that from a magazine, and that's a little poem I wrote myself because I was a big insomniac in Amsterdam. I was like always awake until like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. So November was the first time that I tried to like experiment with watercolors a little bit, as you can see, and I don't really like how this calendar turned out because I feel like I mixed too many colors. I feel like if I would have just stayed with like pink kind of tones, it would have worked better, but I definitely do like the watercolor element up here and here with the weekdays. So as you can see, I did get kind of sloppy sometimes, especially here with the note section where you can see I didn't write anything down. So I just decided to kind of turn it into another spread and take some more stuff from magazines. That's actually a tip I do have if you're starting out with bullet journaling and you don't have as many like washi tapes and stickers yet. If you have like old magazines that you can find, use the stuff that's in there, because there's a lot of pictures and a lot of like tiny things or like pretty like kind of calligraphy fonts that you can use in your bullet journal to kind of decorate it a little bit more. So yeah, here we have arrived in September. I'm also not the biggest fan of this spread. As you can see, I was clearly like struggling a bit with like color patterns. I think in the beginning I never really realized that you could kind of just pick like 2 or 3 colors and it will look better. But honestly, I think it's all about learning, and that's the thing about bullet journaling that I can honestly like also say to anyone who's trying to start. You can't do anything wrong, and in the beginning it's never gonna look like all the videos that you're watching. I mean, that's obvious. Like if you start taking dance classes, you're not gonna look like someone from BTS performing a choreography. It takes time and it takes practice. But trust me, like, you're gonna figure it out. And even if you think that you are a super, like, not at all artistic and just don't know shit about calligraphy or about any of that kind of stuff, don't worry. It's actually, like, it comes with time, and the more you practice and the more videos you watch, the more you kind of get a feel for what's cool. So as you can clearly see, my feel was not developed here yet, but that was fine because I still had fun doing it. But I still had a lot of fun kind of designing it and working my way around like different kind of weekly spreads and different kind of ideas for the notes section. Yeah, those were like a bunch of spreads that I started, but then I didn't finish them. As you can see, I just like took a bunch of stuff from magazines. Although I am a big fan of this spread, I actually kind of still want to recycle that because I think the colors work really well together. But yeah, that's kind of at the end of my bullet journal. That's where I was saving like all of my scraps, all of the stuff I wanted to reuse. But yeah, that was the first ever bullet journal that I made. It's not very big, I honestly, because I just did 4 months, I think. But genuinely, I'm still very proud of it, and I'm super happy that I did start it. And as you can see, it's not perfect. It's not the most aesthetic or like color coordinated piece of art I've ever seen. But it definitely was super much fun to make, and it really helped me start out and kind of like try to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. We're gonna move on to the next one now, which is this fat boy that I also got in Amsterdam. That was like the very end of my trip. Well, stay there actually, and it was like a proper bullet journal this time. To be fair, I didn't really like the cover of it because I'm not a super colourful person, but I bought it because it was like a proper bullet journal because it has the bullets in it, because as you could tell, the last one had like normal lines, and I just wanted to have one that looked like the ones that all the people in the videos use, so that's why I got this. I will definitely flip through this a bit more quicker because there is a lot of personal stuff in there as well, and I don't want this video to be like 8 years long because there's a lot of different spreads since I was still in Amsterdam, but I will show you the most important bits and pieces. So yeah, let's start. This is definitely one of my favorite things that I probably ever did in my bullet journal. And I improvised the entire thing, which is why I'm very proud of it. I just did this kind of like, I painted the background in like kind of black watercolor and then just did like yellow things and grey things. If you read closely, not all of these things are exclusively yellow or grey, but I was kind of running out of things, and then I just wrote bullet journal. Also big fan of this one, where I again made it a bit interactive. Took one of the pages that I actually removed from here because I didn't like it, that had the birds on it, and then just kind of put it in there with washi tape, and then wrote little notes for people who might find it. So this one says pull me, and it basically like has a little note if someone should find this journal, what they should do. And then this one says tug me, and it has like all kind of like my social media on it. Another index where I wrote things very like large for some reason. I'm not sure why I did that. You can also see my calligraphy, how it like evolved. I like to look back on that spread actually to like see when I get kind of better at calligraphy, which was definitely March. But yeah, I did kind of keep up the index quite regularly, but again, I don't really look at it that much, so I don't do it anymore. So yeah, that was me trying to make like the entire year of 2018. As you can see, it's cut up like multiple times. There's like I had to fix it multiple times because I fucked up like the individual months and the names for the months. So it's a bit of a mess. But I did color coordinate birthdays and holidays, like just the most important part. To be fair, never really looked at this. I do still do it to this day just because I think it looks cool. But since I do an individual calendar for each month anyway, it's not really necessary. I definitely do like this a lot as well. That was the first one that I did by myself without anyone else's inspiration. Well, that's not very true, but I didn't copy it from anywhere at least. And I do like the colors that I used for this one and kind of how I built it. I definitely had figured out how to like arrange the elements kind of, you know, a bit more coherently than in my other spreads in the old journal. I also really like this quote, by the way. It's one of my favorite ones. It says, "They tried to bury us, they didn't know we were seeds." Also, I think I misspelled bury, but we're just gonna ignore that. Now, this is an example of, oh dear, of how you can, you know, use your bullet journal as like a creative kind of space as well, because I had all these tickets, various type of tickets from my stay in Amsterdam, and I didn't want to throw them away, but I also didn't want to like keep them in a pile somewhere, so I just decided to put them all in my bullet journal and write like a small little story to each one. So on each page I just put a bunch of tickets. Those were the ones for like public transport. Then there were ones for like train journeys. This is from when I was in Edinburgh, and more Amsterdam stuff. That was Barcelona. So this is why I decided to all just paste them in there and write something for everything that I had a memory of. So that's when February started. I genuinely also enjoy that theme a lot as well, because I decided to take big pictures from magazines and just kind of always make a double page spread in a way. So I would do like bullet journal stuff on this page and then kind of paste in a picture from a magazine on this page. And I also like the very like simple blue theme I made here, because I tried to kind of incorporate more theme colors and not just all the colors into my journal, which worked quite well, I think. As you can see, a page was torn out. Oh, and yeah, I just wanted to say a quick thing about weekly spreads. Personally, I really enjoy them a lot, and I do them for like every week of the month, because I am quite the busy bee sometimes, and it just really helps me to keep track of stuff, because I'm a very forgetful person, and unless I write everything down, I'll just forget all the lunches and like uni things and work fucking due dates. So I just write them down in my weekly spreads. So this spread from April, I definitely have from Amanda. I don't know if you know her channel, but she has amazing bullet journal stuff. If you're starting out in bullet journaling, please go watch her stuff, because she does super nice like explainings and tutorials, and she really like teaches you how to organize your stuff well in your bullet journal, and that's where I got that spread from, and it's actually still one of my favorite spreads to this day. So that's more of the creative section now, where I did some planning for a podcast me and one of my friends decided to do. So that's also what I use my journal for sometimes, where I just like plan stuff, write down ideas that I have for like movies or books. That's definitely something I like to do as well. Now here we come to May, which actually is one of my least favorite spreads because I didn't like the way it kind of turned out. I don't think the color worked very well. But you know, I still tried. I tried to do my own thing, and it's definitely a learning process again. Now this is where I started getting sloppy with bullet journaling, because I did this amazing spread for June, but then as you can see in the bottom it says actually July, whoops, because then I just didn't end up doing June. And I still think it's a super cool spread, but that's where I was just kind of not getting tired of bullet journaling, but it was kind of just fading out. I had a lot of other stuff to do and it was just not much on my mind anymore, but it's still one of my coolest spreads so far because I did the kind of like wave ocean type of theme with different blues. That's where I wrote an entire journal entry about how it's okay to stop one of your hobbies if it stresses you out. That's where I went to see Dan and Phil, which to this day is so insane to me that I actually got to see them live, so I had to put it in my bullet journal, of course. And that's where I did the whole spread for February, which I then never started, even though it was a super cool spread, again, I think from Amanda, that I did with all of these pretty lanterns, but then I never used it. But yeah, that's the ending of this journal. I think I might definitely recycle that in my new bullet journal because it took a shit like ton of time to do and it looks very cool. But yeah, that was my second bullet journal, so to speak, and I'm definitely very proud of it. It has a lot of like stories and memories in it that I very much enjoy looking at, and I definitely grew a lot more into the whole bullet journaling thing here. I practiced calligraphy a lot, and how to kind of coordinate all the colors. So yeah, I'm definitely like very proud of it. Okay, I had some dinner, but we're starting with bullet journal number 3 now. I'm going to try to hurry because daylight is fading and it's already starting to get a bit dark, but there's not much in here yet as I just started that in October, so there won't be much else to tell, but this is definitely going to be objectively the most professional / pretty one because this is what I did now this month, and at this point I've been bullet journaling for 2 years, so obviously I've had a bunch of practice. I haven't really designed the exterior yet because I have commitment issues and just wasn't really sure what I wanted to put here, so I got just a simple yellow leuchtturm because I wanted to bring some color in. So we're just gonna open that up for the first spread. I tried to keep it a bit simple for this one. I decided to put in a fan that's actually like an actual fan that I like dried, and I had it in one of my plant journals for ages, and I decided to finally use it. I put like kind of transparent foil type of thingy over it so it wouldn't get destroyed. But I definitely do like that I kept it a bit simple here. And then there's just a tiny thing that says bullet journal and a tiny little flower, which I hope won't get destroyed. But yeah, I kept it simple, I kept it easy, and I definitely do like it. So then we move on to this kind of spread, which I got actually from Canva. I can also really recommend Canva if you're kind of starting out in the bullet journal world or just generally kind of graphic design world. They have really, really cool kind of like pre-made templates for any type of stuff, whether that be social media, headers, flyers, tickets, like whatever you want to design. And they have them like pre-made and easy to download. Most of it is free. So I just kind of got that template with the font and like the kind of leaves, and then I filled in the rest myself. This is the calendar for the year 2019, and then here's a tiny little personal section where I was like, hey, I'm bullet journaling again, let's go. So yeah, that's that spread. I actually really like it. Then we get to the first spread, which is October, this month that we're currently in. And I decided to go with like a kind of goldfish theme. I actually had that planned out in really different colors, but then I switched it to kind of more pastel-y ones because I've kind of thought it worked a bit better. I did a little kind of description of the word koi here, which, you know, I like to do sometimes to kind of just spice it up a little bit. And then these I did not draw myself, absolutely not. I got that from the internet. Again, I'm sorry I can't link who it's from because I didn't know I was gonna make these videos anytime soon. But if you recognize this art, please show the person some love because it's really, really absolutely wonderful. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough at watercolor. And then I just put some washi up there and wrote October and put a little goldfish sticker here. And then here we have the kind of spreads. As you can see, my expense tracker this month has not been going good. I have been a bit sloppy with this, which is a bit embarrassing because I said earlier on how much I like having an expense tracker. It's just been a very busy month and I kind of need to get used to like go back into the tracker mode where you remember every day that you have something that you have to write down. But I definitely do enjoy this spread a lot. I really like the colors that I used here. As you can see, I started using more washies because that's what I started seeing in like other bullet journal videos that I've been watching recently, and I have accumulated quite the collection of washi tapes myself. And then I just printed out again these like watercolor kois that I then just like pasted into my journal pretty much all over the entire journal, with some more stickers of little goldfish. Then here we have a note section, which, as you can see, I again haven't filled out yet because I'm very sloppy with the note section. I just never know what to put in there, but I always want to put it in there just in case I need to write something down. Then here we have a little journaling spread where I think I wrote about petting some kois. There's this like Aquaterra Zoo in Vienna where you can pet kois, which is really cool. And I just tried to make it like pretty with washies and stuff because I'd never really done that before. So in this one, you can definitely see me trying out like the whole sticker washi route way more. And then here you just have all of my weekly spreads, which I actually like decided to switch colors a little bit this time. I'm sorry, the light's getting really bad already, but I tried to like keep it within the color scheme, but for each like weekly, like for each week, I decided to like pick a different color, which I think worked out quite well because it was still within the color scheme. And here we have like more the grayish and orange tones. Then here we've got another to-do list, which I like decided to make a bit more fancy with more like kind of book elements of books that I don't read anymore or my mum was going to throw out anyways. Wrote another little journal entry about expensive hobbies and why they pay off, which again is about me trying to justify spending 60 euros a week on bullet journaling. This is a little personal section I decided to paste in here. And then here we've got another page that I actually really enjoyed making. I did a little kind of aquarelle watercolor and then printed out some more kois to just like kind of make it look like a little tank to keep going with the koi theme, because I do tend, like as you can see here, I do tend to kind of switch themes within a month if I just feel like it, but here I just kind of try to pull it back to like the pastel orange, blue, pinks. And yeah, we've kind of like, we're already at the end here. As you can see, this isn't pasted in yet. This is the last spread that I have in my bullet journal so far, which is a little tattoo idea section that I designed because I'm planning on getting a tattoo. again soon, and I just today like did the first kind of design of how I think I want it to look. And then I did this for November already, where I was trying to do some more watercolor stuff and experimented with that a lot, and just kind of drew a moon and some stars, made a little calendar, and that's already ready to like be pasted in whenever November starts. So yeah, that's kind of like all the progress I've made with this journal so far. There's one last section at the very back, let me see if I can find it, yeah, where I swatched all my washies, because I have a bunch of those, and I decided to kind of do a washi collection, so when I do like spreads and stuff, I can kind of see what kind of washies I have and what would work best with each other. I definitely recommend swatching your stuff if you have a lot, especially with like pens and washies, because it does tend to get a bit unorganized because you don't really know how many you have. As you can see, I'll show you my miscellaneous pile of washies right over here. There's quite a few and it gets a bit, you know, it gets a bit clumsy and you kind of lose track of how much you have. So I definitely recommend making like swatches. And then here in the back we have the scraps and stickers kind of section where I just keep my stickers and other kind of bunch like stuffs that I cut out. That was not an English sentence. But yeah, that's kind of how far I've gotten with my journal that I started this year. And I'm actually very proud of it. I'm very happy that I picked up bullet journaling again. So as it's getting like super dark right now, which you can probably tell by the very bad camera quality, I just hope you enjoyed that kind of flip through all of my bullet journals that I've have accumulated over the years. Maybe give you some inspo to start your own. If I can give you any tip, is don't feel discouraged by like all the pretty videos that are out there of all the people making it look so aesthetic and you maybe not being able to do it that way. It's all about learning, it's all about the process. It's just a creative space for you and you can really just do whatever you want with it. There's no right or wrong. As long as you like put in an effort and as long as you like it, it's honestly super fine, and it really helps me to organize and like be creative at the same time and kind of make something that I sometimes don't like, which is like actually getting work done, into something that is actually kind of fun and a hobby because I get to plan it. But yeah, I'm gonna put these away now. I hope you had, wait, let me show you my face for once. Hello, it's me. I hope you had a good time watching me flip through all my bullet journal stuff. I really don't know if this is gonna become a like very frequent segment on my channel. I don't know how busy I will be in the next couple of weeks. Wow, I look very rough. I'm sorry, I took off my makeup. Yeah, I'm not sure how frequently I will upload. It really depends on how much bullet journaling I do, but I definitely have a couple of ideas that I could share with you guys, with my 3 friends on here that will probably be watching, because it is something that I genuinely enjoy doing, and I think it's fun to kind of like share with each other what you do and how you do it. I hope I will upload soon again. I can't promise anything, but if I do, I hope you enjoy it. I also very much hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, you could be so kind as to leave me a like and maybe even a subscribe. Who knows, if you feel up for it, I would be very happy about it. But yeah, without any further ado, I wish you a lovely day or evening or night if you're watching this at 4 AM to fall asleep. I relate because that's when I watch these kind of videos. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, I hopefully will see you again soon. Bye!